I like the, oh shit, I'm short. You guys see how much of a drop that was? I need some pillows, hold on.
I'm feeling all this, she already know this. She want a bad man to come on videos. I'm feeling all this, she already know this. She want a bad man to come on videos. You want murder me.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Neicy. Neicy B, baby, don't forget the baby. Oh. Hey guys, so I'm back. Jeebus. Today we will be doing a story time. This is something that you guys requested. I asked you guys to hashtag what he deuces if you want to hear about my trifling ass ex-boyfriend. Just a disclaimer, mom, if you're watching this, you might want to stop at this point because you won't be happy. This is gonna be the I Got Played series. Let me give you a little background on Devante and I. We had dated for like a year and change, okay? We met at work and we worked together for all of our relationship. And even after our relationship was over, which, can you imagine, that was like super awkward. I'll get into that. So pretty much Devante and I worked together, and maybe that was the biggest mistake that we made, because we worked at Walmart. Like, the store was just hella messy. There was always drama. Somebody was always trying to like argue with somebody. Somebody was always talking about somebody, and that was that at the store. Let me get into this. So there was a point maybe in my last year of university where I didn't work as much. I'd be coming in like for like maybe 1 or 2 shifts a week, and Devante, I guess his schedule was different from mine. He was mostly working during the day at work, mostly during the week, and so pretty much our schedules were opposite. I had a best friend at the time, and we're gonna call her Chloe. So Chloe was my best buddy. We didn't work together, but we did go to school together, go to parties together, go to eat together, dine and dash together, cause trouble together. You know, if someone was warring with her, they were warring with me, the whole 9 yards, right? Her little cousin got a job at my Walmart, and I had seen her when she was training and a couple other times, but like I said, I wasn't working at Walmart like that. Maybe 2 weeks into her working there, or maybe a month, I don't know. Devante, but he had been like, hey, how do you know, ooh, I have to give her a name, how do you know Fantasia? And I was like, oh, she's Chloe's cousin. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. The end. Now Fantasia and Chloe look exactly alike, so Fantasia's a little bit taller, Chloe's just shorter, but they have a lot of similarities. Like, their family, like in general, they all like really looked alike. So after I just told Devante like she's so-and-so's cousin, I asked him why. He's like, oh, I was just asking because like I met her at work. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, I don't care. Maybe like maybe the following week, actually, I ended up at work during a weekday because I needed to switch shifts with someone. And I was walking, it was in a group, and in the group was Fantasia, myself, and I think my best friend at work, Jenny. So we were talking, and I was a little curious as to why Devante had brought up Fantasia, because I'm like, this seems weird. Like, these little girls, like, they're kind of fast, so let me just make it very clear that Devante is my man, right? I don't know, I just randomly brought it up in some like dumb way. I was like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, Devante, and she's like,
oh, Devante's your boyfriend?
And I said, yes, Devante is my boyfriend. And this is not news to anybody in the store. At this point, Devante and I have been dating for at least a year, so everyone knew we were together. And if she had asked anybody, they would have told her that, because Devante and I are an item, like, hello. And people in the store don't mind their business, so they would have dropped the hint. And she's like,
oh.
I'm like, why? What's up? She's like, oh,
nothing. Oh, I thought that it was just like he was just talking to you, the girl at customer service.
with the same name as myself. And I'm like, no, he's definitely my boyfriend. It got like super awkward. Like, it was like,
okay, I'll see you later, bye.
And then she ran away. Later that evening, I was like dead asleep, and I get a phone call from Chloe. And I was sleeping, but I woke my ass up. And I was like, hey Chloe, like, what's up? And she's like,
hey, like, are you busy? What are you doing? Is anybody else around?
And I'm like, no, it's just me. She's like,
okay, like, this is pretty serious, so I want to talk to you about it.
And I'm like, okay, no problem. So Chloe continues to say to me,
so Devante is talking to my cousin.
and I said, excuse me? She's like, her cousin
I got her really freaked out today because Devante has been like flirting with her at work, and Devante has been kind of making it seem like it's not serious with him and his girlfriend.
When in fact, obviously, I was the girlfriend.
And like, yeah, he's like been flirting with her, and he dropped her home one day, and like she feels like really uncomfortable. She didn't know he was your boyfriend, so she freaked out and she called me.
And I was like, so what you're telling me is my boyfriend is talking to your cousin? And she's like,
yeah, like that's what she was under the impression of. Like he didn't even say like you were his girlfriend. He just said you were a girl he was talking to, and it's not that serious and all that stuff.
I was like, oh, well, this is news to me. I didn't know I wasn't in a relationship. Well, surprise, surprise. So like, you know, obviously we're having our girl chat. Like I'm going back and forth her. I'm like, I can't believe he did this. I'm like, what else did he do? And she's like,
yeah, pretty much. She's like, he's always talking to her. He asked her for her number. He asked her for her Facebook. Like he's always like telling her he can call, like she can call him and all that stuff. And like she just broke up with her boyfriend and she's really emotional.
All this stuff, right? Like she's giving me the rundown of everything. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Tomorrow I'm supposed to go to Devante's before work, and I intend on confronting him about this. Like I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna ask him some questions, I'm gonna see if he lies to me, and if he lies to me, then I'm pulling up the receipts. And she's like,
yeah, cool, whatever, just like call me. If anything, just call me when you're going in there, and like I'm on the phone, and whatever the case is.
So I just pulled up to his house the next day. And so I just asked some hard-hitting questions because remember, she had told me he had been dropping this little girl home. He had asked for her number. They had been talking a lot at work. Like there was a lot happening, and I'm just kind of like, how come I never saw this? Like, how come you never told me this? So I pulled up and I'm like, hey, and he's like, oh, what's wrong? And I already had a whole ass attitude. And I was just like, so I have a question. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, how do you know Fantasia? And he's just like,
oh, like I just see her at work sometimes.
And I'm like, so you don't talk to Fantasia like one-on-one? He's like,
no, I had no reason to. Like I see her passing, but I don't talk to her.
And I'm like, well, that's not what I heard. And he's like,
what do you mean?
Well, I heard that you're talking to her, that you dropped her home, and that you're telling her that you don't even have a girlfriend, and you're offering like a shoulder to cry on and all this stuff. Like I pretty much went down everything that Chloe had told me on the phone. And he's like,
oh no, that's not true. She's lying. I never did that.
So I'm like, oh really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so if I call Chloe right now, she's gonna tell me that you didn't do those things? He's like,
yeah, I didn't do those things. So yeah, she's just lying. You know that your friend's a liar.
La 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 la. So okay, cool, I'm gonna call Chloe. Hold the phone. These dudes ain't shit. So you know he's already lying. So I pick up the phone and I'm like, bring, bring, bring. I'm like, hey Chloe, so I'm here with Devante and he's telling me that your cousin is lying. She's like,
no, he's not.
Hit speaker. Here you go, girl, talk to him. He's super defensive.
When did I do that? I don't even talk to your cousin. I don't know her like that. She's lying. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't say any of these things to her. I didn't even talk to her. I didn't even know her. I didn't even drop her home.
So Chloe's like,
so you've never dropped my cousin home. You've never drove her anywhere. Nothing.
And then he's like, no, I didn't do any of those things, whatever. And then all of a sudden his story starts to slowly change. She's like,
so you never talked to her at work? You didn't ask her for her number or her Facebook?
And then he's like,
well, I did ask her for her Facebook, but...
And I'm like, so here is where your lies are unraveling. She's like,
okay, well, I don't know, you're lying, and that's all I know, so that's it. Like, I don't have anything else to say, you guys can deal with it.
And I said, okay, cool, thanks, Chloe, bye. So I'm like, are you ready to tell the truth? Like, what's going on? So essentially, he eventually breaks it down. He's like,
oh yeah, I did give her a ride home one day.
I find it funny how you sat in my face prior to that phone call and you lied to me. I find that funny. So here's his version of the story, okay? She was sitting in the break room one day and she was in tears. And so he pulled up like Captain Save-A-Ho and he was like, hey, are you okay? And then she pretty much broke down to him how she had just broken up with her boyfriend and like she's super depressed. He claimed he was trying to help her out. Oh yeah, I was just talking to her and I was trying to make her feel better. But this went on for a minute because it got to the point where the little girl thought you two were talking. So I'm like, how did she think you guys were talking? Oh,
I don't know.
I'm like, so you didn't exchange any contact information? He's like,
oh,
no. He was just like,
I just talked to her at work. I didn't talk to her outside of work. Like, you can check my phone.
All this stuff. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, so you didn't tell her that we were just talking, that we were in a relationship?
Oh no, I never said that. She knows that you're my girlfriend.
I'm just like, from what I remember, Devante and I sat in that room for hours. and he was trying to make it up to me and act like he wasn't lying, and he was just like,
I just know how it feels to be in that space and feel that way, so I was trying to lend her a hand. I'm like,
but you don't know her from anywhere, so why are you all of a sudden so generous?
Oh no, like it's not like that, and
all this stuff, like pretty much lying through his damn teeth, trying to convince me that he wasn't trying to holler at this little girl. So after he kept on trying to get me to forgive him, I was just like, something doesn't sit well with me about this. The way that she said it, it was like, he asked her for her number, he asked her for her Facebook, he told her she could talk to him whenever she wants to, all this stuff. And so he was like,
okay, I have to go to work now, but like you can have my car, just drive me to work.
Like, he's really trying to make it up to me. So I drove him to work. I think I went inside. It is Fantasia and I ended up speaking. She was working and I came up behind her register and I was like, hey, so what happened? And she was like,
yeah, like pretty much. So every day he would be talking to me. You know, I was sad and he was like trying to like be really nice to me. Like, he's the nicest person here. And one day like he asked for my Facebook and he asked for my number, and I was like really hesitant to give it to him. So like I never gave him my number because I already had a girlfriend here. And like, yeah, he was kind of saying like he didn't have a girlfriend and that you guys weren't serious and that you guys were just talking. One day he just offered to drive me home and I was like, no, it's okay, but he was like, yeah, no, I'm going in that direction.
Which he wasn't, unless he was coming to my house because he lived in the opposite direction. But let's not even talk about that. And so yeah, he dropped her off one day and that was it. Like nothing happened, just dropped her off. But like it was like super awkward because like this guy's flirting with her at work and it's an older guy and she's a younger girl, so she's under the impression that she and this man are in things. Like she's under the impression that something's about to happen here, which I don't blame her for because he was definitely giving her those vibes. Like, why are you in the room every day with this girl when you should be working? Let me say something. For a man that should be working, he was always flirting with somebody's gal. The story with my manager's nudes, if you guys don't know what it is, I'll like link it here. He also was the one who was always flirting with the manager, even though she looked like a wildebeest. Like, move from here with that. So was I surprised? No. So pretty much, the day I had spoken to her, she gave me all the details, and I think she's getting ready to leave work or something. And I'm like, would you mind coming to the back with me to go and confront him? And at this point, I'm just trying to figure out who's lying, but in the long run, you know he was lying, like, obviously. She's like,
I really don't feel comfortable doing that. Like, I just kind of, like, don't want to be involved. Like, I told you my side of the story, and, like, now I don't want any parts of it. Like, I don't want to be involved with this at all.
So I said, well, you know, like, don't worry, nothing will happen. Like, we can just go to the back, talk to him quickly, and then we'll leave. So pretty much we get to the back of the store because that's where he worked. So I'm like, where's Devante? So his little friends called him over and I moved to the side and she was there and he's
like, yo, what's she doing here? What do you want, you liar? You're a liar, get out of my face. Why are you trying to ruin my relationship? You knew I was in a relationship, I told you that.
Like going off. The annoying part is like no one had any text evidence. This is all like he said, she said, because she never gave him her number. I'm pretty sure she gave him her Facebook, but like no communication was transferred between the two as far as I know. It was kind of like I was the jury. It was really irritating to me because I'm like, I shouldn't be in this position. Like I find it very hard to believe that this little girl would pick you out of all the men here to target. Like, it doesn't make sense. She just came here. Like, why would she be trying to start this mix-up? You know what I mean? And he admitted that he was in the room trying to comfort somebody who was none of his goddamn business, but he was doing it anyways. So pretty much, she was like,
you said this to me. You definitely told me that you were in a relationship. You said that it wasn't serious.
I never said that.
If you guys can imagine, it was just a back and forth of them just like arguing. And she's like,
you know what? I don't care. I'm not involved in this anymore. If you want to believe him, that's up to you. But like, I'm gonna tell you right now that he's lying to you. And like, these things happen. And he asked me for my number. And he was trying to talk to me. And this and this. Like, it wasn't just him trying to comfort me and whatever. Like, he's the one who was telling me my boyfriend was some shit and all this stuff.
And pretty much she broke it down. And then she just like said, deuces. Like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. And he's like,
yeah, get out of here with your lying ass. And no.
You're at work, sir. And the doors are open. And the customers can see you. So, you know, maybe I was wrong for bringing that up at work, but there's no place else that I would get them in the same place, and I expected that it wouldn't have gotten that heated because somebody would have told the truth. And when I tell you guys, I couldn't tell who was telling the truth, but now, based on events that occurred after that, I know for a fact that he was lying. At the end of it, I was pretty much left with the decision. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this little girl's word for it, or I'm gonna take his word for it. And I was really dumb, and this is me getting played. This is why this is a I Got Played series, honestly. And yeah, like, I ended up just being like, okay, maybe he's telling the truth. I can't really tell who's lying, and we've been together for this long. This is a lesson. Never base any of your decisions how long you've been together, because someone could screw you over today, someone could screw you over tomorrow, someone could screw you over at the beginning of your relationship, or someone could screw you over at the end of your relationship. It doesn't matter. There's no perfect time for someone to screw you over, I guess. There's no optimal time. There's no study that says at exactly this date and this time or this point in your relationship will get screwed over. You can get screwed over at any point. So I pretty much took his word for it. I just said, you know what, this is a big mess and I'm just gonna leave it alone. We did end up breaking up, and let me tell you, that's kind of how I figured out he was a pathological liar, because if I decide to do the story time of pretty much our whole breakup and how it friggin' blew up, I will do a poll on my Instagram, so make sure you follow me, or I'll do a poll on YouTube as well. That story is definitely intense, and I'm telling you guys, like, that would be a whole movie. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this story time today, and I hope that you guys take something from it. As I said, there's no map, there's no checklist for when you can get played in a relationship, or if you will get played in a relationship. You could only look for signs, I guess, and even that sometimes goes south. All you can do is take care of yourself. Never think that you can't break up with someone because you have history or because you've been with them for a long time. So I'm hoping that that's what you get from this story. So hopefully from these played story times, you guys will get a couple lessons. And if you're interested in seeing more story times about me getting played, because I have no problem sharing them, then definitely let me know down below in the comment section with a hashtag, maybe. Hashtag we want more, if you guys want me to start like a I got played series. And I guess like if you guys have stories about getting played, like, I don't know, you can send them to me and I can tell them. One of my favorite YouTubers actually does something like that on her channel. I wouldn't mind doing something like that on mine, just about getting played and how you learned from it and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind sharing, like, reading your stories if you don't have the platform to do it, just in regards to those things. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And I think that's about it for today. So as always, it's a peace, and it's a love, and it's a annyeong.
I'm feeling all this, she already know this. She want a bad man to come and video this. I'm feeling all this, she already know this. She want a bad man to come and video this.